incarcerated and help them to receive services and address what they call criminogenic needs. And I hope I don't get too clinical or too criminal justice with this, but there's specific needs that people need to have addressed cognitively in order for them to be successful when they return back from incarceration. And it used to be the main two things that people thought about was employment and substance abuse were the main two things that you need. But if I can get you off the substances and get you a job, but I don't change the way that you think, the people that you hang around with and other items like that, then the likelihood of you returning back to incarceration is still good. So it's a lot more than just the employment and the substance abuse. It's also just dealing with those other things. So we address that while they're incarcerated. We help them to find a job. We connect them with a mentor. We do something called pro-social activities. Sometimes it's great to be in different environments around different people. Go to a play, go to a baseball game. We actually just had a nice event where we took 5 women to a place, and I may mess up the name, it was Sephora, and they went there to get their makeup done. And then we
Sephora.
Sephora.
Yeah, PH.
I don't know.
No, it's not good.
I'm in love with good Sephora trip.
So we did that. So the pro-social activities, we went to a Nationals game. So just trying to meet people where they are and helping them is an important aspect of OAR. It's been in business for over 45 years, and hopefully it'll be in business for 45 more years.
Right, you have a pretty powerful board of directors too.
Yeah, my board of directors are very supportive and helpful of us and helps us to carry out our missions. It's great to have 11 bosses.
I have a feeling that CT's on your board of directors.
He is on the board of
Okay,
directors.
no wonder you said that.
Which is that?
Yeah.
Crazy how that works out.
Crazy
Look
how
at
that
That's
works.
beautiful.
Right. We gotta work together. But so you just talked about voter disenfranchisement within the community, and I know on the heels of we have a voting show coming up, I think on November 2nd.
Correct.
So when you talk about voter disenfranchisement, right, you think about in 1976, 1.17 million people couldn't vote because of felonies. In 2016, 6.1 million people can't vote because of a felony. And here's the crazy part about it, right? So right now when you're talking about, DP normally does a lot of the stats, but I can jump into this conversation as well. So when you talk about where we stand in the community, back in the 70s, we were about 300 and some odd thousand people incarcerated. Right now, we're at about 2.3, 2.4 million people incarcerated.
Just the U.S.
Just the U.S., correct. So when you talk about those numbers, and then 46% of the people that are currently incarcerated are incarcerated for nonviolent crimes, right? So think about that. About 50%, you're talking a little over 1 million people who are incarcerated for nonviolent crimes, and a rack of people can't vote because they checked this felony box. There's some negativity or craziness that's going on with this mass incarceration and people not being alternatively sentenced. That has collateral consequences. That destroys families, destroys kids, destroys the community writ large. Right, and we're gonna get into some more numbers later because I think it's important. Kind of going back to what we talked about in Chicago. How important are the numbers? But even before we go into that, what role does a lack of opportunities you think play in people being incarcerated?
For me, lack of opportunities kind of, it's the breeding ground for what I would consider poverty, which is a byproduct, I think, would ultimately result in crime, right? So if I don't have an opportunity to get an education, I don't have an opportunity to get a job, if I don't have an opportunity to do this, that, and the third, just the basic necessities one would possibly need just to live a decent life. I don't want to be rich. I just need to feed my family. I want everyone to, be copacetic and survive and do just the basics.
Get a couple Christmas presents.
That's it.
Right.
If I can't do that, right? Because I have to check a box on a job application for a non-violent crime, right? What do I have to do? Well, guess what? Now I have to.
Hit the block.
That's it. Eat or be eaten.
Right.
Land in the law.
Right.
Feast or famine. And people don't look at it that way. But like, what would you do? If you're a man, what would you do? If you've applied to 10 different jobs, denied, all because of a $9 crime, you've served your time, you've paid your debt to society, but now you're trying to do something right. You're trying to get back into society and you can't.
That goes directly into the importance of the ban the box movement. We have people out here who are constantly paying for things that they've already done, things that they've already served their time for. We should be focused on combating recidivism the rehabilitation like OAR does, and not focus on the continuous punishment and stigmatizing of these people. I mean, we have no idea what circumstances led them to the place that they might have been in. A lot of people are in jail for mental illness that's still not being treated properly while it's in jail. There's just an innumerable amount of things that lead people to the circumstances in which they end up behind bars. And it's crazy because America locks up so many of these people. But on the bright side, I do want to point to my home state of Virginia, where Governor McAuliffe has given the voting rights back to, I think, about 13,000 people, even after the wake of the Supreme Court, who struck it down previously.